Sometimes I do forget to record. Ulysses says, I don't. How about you guys? Anyone else here? Sean, Remy, Matt, MC, Taylor, Todd, Ulysses. Anyone got a text conversation I can look at? Could be from a few days ago. Shit. And if no one does, I'll try to see if I got one that we could do. It's on my phone, says Sean. Are you on your phone now, Sean? Or could you get it and screenshot it to me real fast? I should have probably posted the next level like an hour ago and tried to collect a couple. And if not, I know there's a couple in next level, but I can kind of scroll down and find it for us. Might be a sec. You think you'd be able to shoot that to me, Sean? If not, I'll try to find one because I know we got. Let's see. It's on my phone, says Sean. I got a guy messaging me right now if you want to close it. Yeah, can you send me the whole conversation and just send it to me? How do we send it to you, says Remy. So can you screenshot it from your phone? Just screenshot the screen and then send it to me. So you just start from the top, you screenshot it, send it to me, go to the next part, screenshot it. It might be 4, 5, 6 different screenshots. On Facebook Messenger, yep, or you can use a thing called Jing. Jing. It's a free thing you can download and then you can screenshot it too. Like if you're on, I don't know how to do it on an iPhone, but I know on a Samsung, if you hold the volume up and like power button at the same time, it'll screenshot whatever is on the screen. And yes, Sean, if you want to send that to me too. That way we got a couple conversations to go through today. And while you guys are sending that to me, does anyone have any other questions? Any other questions at all relating to the phone flipping business? Sean says I could just write the text to you. Yeah, that'd be fine. Any last minute questions regarding the business, things, anything you guys need help with? Uh-oh, here we got some messages. Oh, there we go. Remy's got something. Let's see what Remy's got. Do you give her... So Ulysses says, do you need a different ID for new accounts? It depends. Which accounts are you talking about? Do you buy iPhone 8 Plus Red? Oh, you're sending the thing like that. That'd be a little bit crazy. If you want to just write out the whole thing and send it to me in one message, that'd work. So on which platform are you talking about? Ulysses asked, do you need a different IP address or a different ID for new accounts after being banned? Which accounts? Each account is a little bit slightly different. And of course, guys, I have learned this the hard way from getting banned on all the platforms multiple times, getting my phone banned, but that's okay. Because I still got all the platforms. We're still rocking and rolling. So if you want to send that to me real quick, use the same ID for new OfferUp accounts after being banned on one. So what I do, Ulysses, is I've actually done that. I just made a new OfferUp account, and I use the same. When I make a new OfferUp account, after my OfferUp account's banned, because mine get banned a lot, is I use a brand new email, a brand new phone number. The last phone number I used, I scrolled through Facebook, and I saw people that were online, and this girl I used to work with, I said, hey, are you online? She goes, yes. I said, okay, cool. What's your phone number? She gave me her phone number. I said, OfferUp's going to send you a 6-digit code. When you get that code, would you send it to me? She said, sure. So as soon as she confirmed it, then I put her phone number in OfferUp, sent the code, she sent it to me. And then I did use my ID. I used my government-issued ID to confirm the OfferUp account. And what I've noticed is on OfferUp, I think the more you confirm the profile, so not just a phone number and a profile pic, phone number, profile pic, the true, whatever the thing is, the true thing, the email address. I think the more you confirm it, the more legit the account is. I'm actually having issues on OfferUp. I used to get a lot of leads from OfferUp, but I don't anymore, so I actually just use OfferUp for the reach out method. A lot of my accounts were getting banned on OfferUp. It was like once a week. So I created an account, and now I just use it for the reach out method. And I get a few phones a week just from the reach out method on OfferUp. It's pretty good. Letgo and all the other platforms I'm still using, so you kind of adjust depending on your area. And it was weird because a year ago, Letgo, OfferUp was like my main one. It was OfferUp, and then it switched to Marketplace, and then it's Letgo. I still get leads from Marketplace. I still get, I get a lot of leads from LetGo. I just got a Craigslist VA, says Taylor. Fantastic. That was my mistake. And then the other thing you can do, Ulysses, is after you used your ID, if you've used it, I would try to use someone else's ID. So I was like hanging out with my family 2 weeks ago, and my sister was in town. I just used her ID. If you're hanging out with friends, right, if you're hanging out at their place or you're, someone just use their ID and have them do it. So like I had my sister do it. I used her ID. I used her face. So it makes you take a selfie. I just had her take a selfie on my phone. It confirmed it. It was perfect, right? I've noticed on OfferUp, whenever I do it, it's fine. Now what happens is after OfferUp would ban me, I uninstall the app and reinstall it. I don't know if that does anything or not. It just makes me feel better. But I've gotten probably 5 OfferUp accounts banned on my phone, and it's working now. I got OfferUp on it. Everything's fine. Do you use a VPN? So MCMC wants to know, do you use an IP changer to post Craigslist ads? When I was doing it, I didn't. No, I wasn't going crazy like Josh and doing 40 ads. I was doing about 8 a day. I'd post 4 in the morning and 4 at night, but I didn't. I don't know if you're going boss status like Josh is and doing 40. Probably be good to have an IP changer. But when I was doing it myself, I had 22 different Craigslist accounts, and I was posting 4 ads in the morning, 4 ads at night. I wasn't having any issues with it. I did everything new except the phone number. Okay, you said you're going to update it. See, I don't know if that'll affect it or not. If it does, just reinstall it, do the process again. It might not. I don't know if they have a database, they keep track of that stuff or not. I don't, so I try to make a new thing every single time. But I have used the same ID now twice, and it looks like I think someone just, they confirm it usually within 5 minutes, so I get the feeling they just have like workers that are just looking at it, and they're not saving it anywhere. Because if they were saving it, they would say, hey, the account was already made. If that makes sense. I test stuff too, right? Just like I suggested that Josh test stuff, I test stuff too. Whenever stuff doesn't work, I try to narrow. First thing I say is there are other people that are getting ads to stick on these platforms. And if I scroll and I see competition, I say, yes, there is. That means there's a solution. There's not like if there was just one person that only had ads and no one else's, they might have someone flagging heavily. And if that's the case, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to threaten them, flag their stuff. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that's what you should do. That's what I would do. And then, but if I see other people, right, so if I'm on Marketplace and I see 2 or 3 other competition and their ads are sticking, I know that they have a way to get ads to stick. I might have to test a couple of different things. I might have to get a new phone. I got a phone there as a backup phone I use just in case, right? I might have to get different phone numbers. I might have to uninstall it, and reinstall the app. I might have to use a different ID to confirm it. I might have to run someone's account. But if I know if I play around with these different things, eventually I'll find a combination, and then I'll be good again. And the better you get at this stuff, the longer the accounts stick. So you guys probably remember a year ago, I was going through like a Facebook Marketplace like once a month. Now, because I figured out the warm-up methods and the hot and cold theory we talk about that's all in the back office, I've been using the same Facebook Marketplace account for like 6 months now, haven't had an issue. I've been using the same LetGo account. My LetGo account, guys, got like 80-plus ads on it. I mean, it's just covered in ads. And you can scroll for miles on LetGo, and you're going to see my ads all over the place. Because I've gotten better at it. I've kind of, okay, when it gets cold, I got to warm it up. I got to post softer ads. All stuff we talked about before. That kind of makes sense. Rico says, I think that's why I got banned on Craigslist. Getting smart now, too. Yeah, I mean, that's probably why it was. You weren't like, pushing the limit a little bit. You were hitting that shit. Now, in all fairness, Josh was thinking correctly. Josh was trying to 10x his business. I love that. I'd be doing that too. But if we're going to do it, it probably makes sense to have different IP changers or maybe even have a few phone numbers. You can have phone numbers. You can buy phone numbers for $1. I forget from what site, and have all the calls and messages forwarded to you. Is it Trulia? Let me see. There's a website you can buy phone numbers. So you could, if Josh wanted to hit it hard and he wanted to keep getting 40 ads a day, he could probably get 5 or 6, 7 phone numbers and get 7 ads a day posted per IP address with a different phone number and have everything forward to him, so he monopolizes and controls the entire Craigslist platform, which would make sense because that's like the main platform he's using. Like LetGo works really good for me, so I use 2 LetGo accounts and I hit it hard. I got the Parallel Space app and then I got the regular one. And inside the Parallel Space app, I logged in to let go inside parallel space through the rented account and automatically confirmed it. So when people shop around, they shop around with me. And when I was doing Craigslist and I had a few different phone numbers, people would shop around and they all shop around with you. So one person, I'd talk professional to him and I'd give him a fair offer, and I'd see the same phone number coming on a different phone number. They didn't know it. It would be forwarded to me, though. And I would talk like real unprofessional and make a lowball offer to him. And then, guys, magically, 5-10 minutes later, I would get a message on my first phone number. All right, sounds good. I'll take the deal. And I'd meet up with them, and everything was great. Guys, because I'm about dominating. Do you guys want to compete with the competition, or do you want to dominate? I want to have all my competition be down here. Yeah, they're fighting. They got one account here, a couple ads, and I want to be up here. I want to be 10 levels above them, having accounts everywhere, having ads everywhere, and making them pissed off. I saw a conversation where this guy was saying, he goes, he buys phones in my area. I have no idea who he is. And he goes, you know, with Aaron posting ads everywhere, I just can't seem to get phones. It's like too tough. That's what I want them thinking. That's what I want. I want them thinking that way. I want them to be pissed off whenever they see me. You'll see people talk about it every now and then, like in my area, because you see me doing good. If you go through my Facebook, they'll be like, well, I want to do phone flipping, Aaron, but I don't think I can compete up against you. That's what I want them thinking. Don't compete up against me. Go do Shopify. Go do Amazon. Go do real estate. Go do Amway. Go sell rainbow vacuums door to door. But let me go ahead and run the phone flipping in my area. That's what I'm trying to get out there without saying it. I say it to you guys because we're on the same team, and I tell you guys what I think. But, you know, that's the image I'm trying to put out there. Let me see. Let's see. Got a few comments here. That's the best. Ha ha. Dominate. Hey, Grant Cardone says it. He says dominate. Don't compete. Competition's good for the customer. Competition's not good for us. I want to salt the earth they walk on. Go to work at Walmart. You know, someone's got to work there. I used to work there. Don't ever move to San Antonio, Texas, Remy. Remy, you don't want me to move there? All right, I'm going to stay right here. All right, guys, so let's get started. So Mr. Remy sent me a text message conversation. Let me turn on the air conditioner real fast. Woo! All right, so let's talk about this. Uh-oh, guys. Now, I'm going to quiz you guys, and there's probably going to be some people here that get this right because we do got some professionals. All right, so we're going to do a text conversation breakdown. Let's go ahead and... You talking to me, Josh? I have lost a couple pounds. I don't know. Maybe Josh was talking about him. See? Yes, sir. I've lost I was at 240 about 2.5 months ago. I'm at 215 today. So I'm down about 25 pounds. And I like it. My face is a little bit more defined, guys. Before, my face was like a bubble like this. Which, you know, it was cool, you know. I was still getting phones. I was still swiping right on Tinder. But, you know, shirts are a little bit more fitted now. So I appreciate you saying something, Josh. I think you're the first person that said something to me. All right. Screen 2. So let's get busy, guys. Let's get to the nuts and bolts. So we're going to do a text conversation breakdown. Now, before we dive into it, guys, we have to go over the basics because you guys have to refresh my memory because maybe I forget stuff. So someone, when it comes to negotiating through messaging, someone give me some things we know. What are some things we know when it comes to text message negotiation? Some theory, some overall principles, some big picture overview. Before I get into the nitty-gritty, I have to have a framework to go off of, and I need someone to give me, there's a few amount of things. All right, so Remy says we lead with questions, and he's absolutely right. We are going to lead by asking questions. We're going, hey, I love that, Taylor. Taylor says we're always going to make them an offer. Guys, I don't care if you feel bad that it's a lowball offer. I don't care if you might say, well, Aaron, it's 10% of the value. I'm not going to make them an offer because I'm afraid they're not going to accept it, and I don't want to feel rejection. So to avoid all that, I'm not going to make an offer, okay? The only reason I know this is I used to do this way, way, way back in the day. We make an offer on 100% of the leads. I don't care if it's $3. Now, if it's a cheap phone, there's a chance they might not accept it, but there are chances that they will accept it, and either way, it makes you numb to the process. It's just better, and you can get more logical. The more like rejection you get, you just get more logical. I'm not saying it's good to get rejected. Don't try to get rejected. But I'm sure if we were to ask Josh, I'm sure the first time someone hung up on Josh on the phone, it might have aggravated him a little bit. But now if someone hangs up on him or someone tells him no, I'm sure Josh is more relaxed. He's more calm, which allows him to stay logical, which actually probably allows him to move the conversation forward and maybe even close some of those deals. You can let me know in the chat if I'm right or wrong, but that's just how it is. Some people now, guys, they'll tell me to fuck off or get lost, and before I would go off on them, I ain't perfect. I'll get pissed off every now and then, but now it's like I don't care. I'll stay logical, and I've noticed when I am professional to them, a fair amount of time they actually feel bad because they went off on me and I stayed professional. And sometimes I feel like part of the reason they sell me the phone is just because they feel bad and they want to make it up to me. They want to apologize, and the only way they know how is to offer me something of value, aka their phone, so Aaron can take it and put it on eBay and make some of that free money we all love. So we lead by asking questions. Ulysses says they have a 3-second ad, and we also know that the average person through messaging has 3-second attention span. Numbers game, yes, it is a numbers game. So through messaging, we got to just run the numbers. That's why we put ads on all the platforms, right? Minimum, we want about 20 leads a day. If we get 20 leads a day and we close only 2 of them, that's still 2 phones, $60, $70, $80 in profit. You're making $150 plus profit a day. That's $1,000 a week profit. You're making $52K a year just on this. $52,000 a year is more than the average family makes combined. And that includes people that went to college and they're working 40, 50 hours a week. And we could do this working a lot less. That's why this business is so good, and that's why we can get good at it, because we can make a full-time income, if not more, working part-time hours. So the person's attention span is short. So, guys, I bought a new car a couple days ago. When I walk into the car dealership, 80 to 90% of my attention, the car dealer guy walks up to me, most of my attention's on the car dealership guy, right? Everyone here ever walked into a car dealership or a furniture place? Most of your attention is on the person in front of you because you're face-to-face. The next level under face-to-face is on the phone. When you're on the phone, you're going to lose some of their attention. It's still a decent amount, but they might be talking to you, but they might be looking at Facebook and scrolling and doing other shit. When it comes to messaging, they have a 3-second attention span, and their attention's all over the place because they don't owe you anything. They're not looking at you, right? Think about it. When you walk into a restaurant and the host says, hey, how many people are there? Most of your attention's on the host. When you're messaging people, you can be messaging people and doing a bunch of other things. Your attention's spread out. So that means we're going to get right to the point. We're going to use words that they understand, and we're going to make them offer a fast. We're going to make them a fast offer. And there is a 5-part process everyone goes through when we buy a phone. Someone give me the process. Anytime you've ever bought a phone, I guarantee you've walked the prospect has gone through these 5 steps. Any phone you buy in the future, you've walked them through these 5 steps. I have flipped over 1,500 phones since I bought David Kosciuszko's phone flipping program. Every phone I bought, I've walked them through this process. Number 1, they reach out to us. Number 2, we figure out what they have. Number 3, we make them an offer. Number 4, we close them. Number 5, we go for the meetup. So what we want to do is in our heads, guys, and I do this today, we want to be thinking which part of the process are we on and how can we get to the next step? Because sales, these conversations, is all about getting an end result. It's all about getting an end result. If me and, let's see who's on this chat. If me and Todd, let's say me and Todd are hanging out and we're getting tacos and we've known each other for 5 years. Me and Todd, we're probably just going to like hang out for a little bit. There's not really an end result of the conversation. We're just kind of hanging out. We're having fun. We're talking about life. A sales conversation has a different feel. It has a different structure. It has a different purpose. It's about getting an end result. It's about you making an offer on the phone and you guys meeting up and making a sales transaction. That's what the prospect wants. The prospect, guys, they don't want to talk to you for 3 hours. They don't care about you. Now, I'm not picking on anyone here, guys, because they don't care about me either, all right? They want some money for their phone. So what we're going to do is figure out where are we in this process and what's the most direct path we need to take to getting to the next level. And we're probably going to ask questions. Sales professionals lead by asking questions. We're going to ask questions. We're going to make statements. That's what sales professionals do. You know, like, guys, when I walked into the car dealership, what did the guy say? Hey, what brings you in today? All right, what are you looking for? What kind of features? Because I don't really know what I'm looking for, guys. You know, what kind of features are you looking for? Oh, this, that. Sean says, I just closed this lady. I sent it to your Facebook profile. Beautiful, Sean. Fantastic. It's just like anything else, guys. If you go to the doctor, right? Has anyone here ever been? Okay, give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever been to the doctor. Okay, if you've ever been to the doctor, give me a 1. Guys, I was at the doctor. I was at the ER, I want to say. No, not the ER. I was at that urgent care place like 2 months ago, right? So we've all been there. Imagine you get to the doctor. So Sean is going to roll up to the doctors. And he's going to get to the doctors, and Sean's face is red. And his skin's peeling off because his temperature's so high. And he can't see straight. And his legs are numb. And he's got pus coming out of his ears. And he stumbles into the doctor's office, and the doctor looks at Sean and says, damn, Sean, you look pretty bad. And Sean's like, yeah, I feel pretty bad. And the doctor's like, well, what do you think you have? And Sean's like, I don't know. And the doctor's like, well, see all those books over there? I'm going to go play golf. You go over and read those books. You'll eventually find symptoms about what you have. And then there'll be some prescriptions, and you can go ahead and figure that out on your own. Sean is not going to have too much faith in the doctor. Now Sean goes to another doctor, and the doctor says, all right, come over here and hop on the scale, all right? And now we're going to measure you. And now we're going to take your temperature. Would you lean your head to the side as I stick the thing in your ear to get your temperature? All right, tell me about your symptoms. And Sean says this. And the next, all right, great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check your thing. So they take the thing they have around their neck with the heart thing. I don't know what that's called. Maybe, is that a stethoscope? So they take the thing and all right, go ahead, Sean, breathe for me normally. And Sean breathes. And then he's like, all right, Sean, I want you to take deep breaths. Bring it in, breathe out. And then he takes the stethoscope and moves it to the back and moves it to his head and his forehead or whatever. He says, all right, Sean, I think you have this. Now, because you have this, you need to go get this medicine from Walgreens. I'm going to order it for you now. Which doctor does Sean want to go to, guys? Doctor number 1 or doctor number 2? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Sean want to go to doctor number 1 or does Sean want to go to doctor number 2? Sean Sean says he wants to go to doctor number 2. Why? Because the doctor took control of the conversation, led the conversation, because that's what professionals do. Sales professionals control the conversation and lead the conversation. Guys, the prospect guys, they don't know the questions to ask. They don't know the information you need. So it's your job to ask the right questions. I see some beginner phone flippers, and they get mad when the prospect's like, hey, I got a phone. And they're like, okay. And the guy's like, how much can I get? And the prospect's like, well, what phone do you have? And they're like, oh, it's an iPhone. And the prospect's like, oh, and then the phone flipper's like, okay, well, do you know, is it like a 7 or an 8 plus or a 5? And the guy's like, well, yeah, it's a 7 plus. And the phone flipper will like post that conversation, and they'll be like, oh, you know, why do I get bad leads? And you don't get bad leads. That's the prospect. The prospect, they're not in the business. They don't know the questions to ask. It's your job to control the conversation and lead the conversation by asking questions, getting information, just like the doctor does, just like the car salesperson does, so you can figure out what they have, And based on what they have, you can appraise it and make a fair offer based on the phone and the condition of the phone. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. This might be kind of basic, but it's the basic stuff that matters. I notice whenever I steer away from the basic stuff and I start watching YouTube videos on how to get past iCloud lock phones, I don't make any money. When I focus on putting up ads and responding to leads, that's when I start picking up phones, and that's when I actually start making money. All right, so can you guys see the screen? You should see the screen with there's like the Word document on the bottom and the conversation at the top. Just someone like acknowledge that if you would. It's, all right, thank you, Remy. I got a new computer a few months ago, guys, and it used to put like a green rectangle around which screen, and it doesn't anymore, so I just want to make sure it's. All right, so this guy says, what would you offer for a 64 gigabyte AT&T iPhone 6? Only has scratches on the back by the Apple logo. 6 Plus. All right, guys, so there's 3 bits of information we need before we make an offer. Someone tell me what the 3 bits of information are. There's 3 bits of information we need before we can accurately make an offer on the item. There's 3 things we need. The doctor does diagnosis. We're going to diagnose it, and there's only, because, you know, we're not dealing with sick people, we only really need 3 bits of information. We need, Mr. Remy says, the type of phone. There it is. We need the carrier, and we need the condition. You guys would agree an iPhone 5 is a different selling price than an iPhone XX Max, correct? You guys would agree with me a Sprint is different than a phone that is Verizon unlocked. You guys would agree with me that a no-powered crack screen, bad LCD phone is different than a mint condition still with a plastic on. So these are the 3 main things that determine the value of the phone. Now, there's other things that determine the value, like gigabytes, right? However, as we talked about, I believe it was on Thursday's group chat. It was on Thursday's group chat. We don't want to ask too many questions. We want to figure out kind of the basics of what they have, the type of phone, the carrier, the condition. We're right here. And then we want to make an offer. Prospect reaches out to us. As soon as they reach out to us, they respond to our ad, we're automatically in step 2. We're going to figure out what they have. Now, sometimes it's your job to ask questions. We got to say stuff like, they say, hey, I got a phone. And then it's our job to say, okay, great. What kind of phone is it? Oh, it's an iPhone. All right, any idea which type of iPhone it is? It's an iPhone 6S Plus. Okay, cool. Which company is it with? AT&T. Any problems with it? No. Boom, that's that. That's how the conversation would go. We would be taking control of the conversation, leading it by asking questions, so we can get these types of information as smoothly as possible so we can figure out what they have so we can accurately appraise it so we can go to the next step and make an offer. We always got to be thinking, what is the most direct path from going to each step? So if we're here, we want to go here. If we're here, we want to go here. Right? If we try to go here and they don't like the offer, we got to handle the objection and then go here, and then we got to go through the meetup. So this person says, what would you offer for an AT&T, that's a company, iPhone 6, 64 gigabyte, only has scratches on the back by the Apple logo. So by him saying only, him or her, by prospect saying it only has scratches on the back by the Apple logo, a cracked screen is more significant than this. So my guess is there's no crack. So what I would do is I would appraise it, and my next sentence would be the offer. Let's see what Remy says. Any issues with it? But, you know, that's not bad because Remy just wants to make sure there's no problems with it, right? So I guess that's not too bad. I might say that. I would say, all right, no worries. Well, he's saying any issues with it. It's kind of like, it's not bad though, right? What some people do is they'll ask 10 questions, which is not good, but that's one question, not bad. Yeah, see, so he's making it seem like the scratches on the back are a big deal. So if they're making it seem like the scratches on the back are a big deal, it's probably not a crack because a crack is more significant than scratches on the back, and they would probably point out a crack before they point out scratches on the back. Does that make sense? Oh, Annie sent a picture. See, this is good. That means the person's invested, right? They're fairly invested in the conversation if they're going to take a time to take a picture. You guys see that? So we know at this point the prospect's invested in the conversation. Right, we got to think about this. They're going to get their phone, right? They're going to find their phone. They're not using this phone. They're using another phone. They're going to find it. They're going to zoom up. They're going to make a good lighting, and they're going to send you a picture. We know the prospect's invested in the conversation so far, which is a pretty good thing. Now, we also know we could lose them, right? We talked about this on Thursday's group chat, which is in your back office, that we know that we could make an offer and it could piss them off and we could lose them. But we know right now they're invested, which is a good thing. So give me a 1 in the chat if you guys follow this. I want you guys to see my thought process and how this is strategy. To make money, guys, we're not going to rely on luck. We're not going to rely on positive thinking. We're not going to rely on phones falling down from the sky and landing in our pocket. We're going to rely on strategy and tactics that allow us to get phones that are proven to work following proven marketing and sales tactics. Guys, I'm all about positive expectancy. I'll meditate. I write down my goals. I visualize. But I know when I'm in the conversation, I care about tactics. That's why so many people have success at next level, because I'm not like, try this or do this or just don't worry about it. I'm like, no, these are the exact tactics, the exact actions to take to get results. And the reason they work is because I'm doing it myself. I do the same thing you guys do. I wake up every day. I respond to ads. I have accounts that go down. Just like I had a couple days ago. I made a new offer up 2 days ago. That's how I knew that it was able to work on an ID. And I'm driving around, and I'm getting people that flaked. I had 3 people that didn't show up last week, guys. However, I made over $2,000 in profit last week, too, because I just run the numbers. That's just how it is. So let's go to the next thing. We want to – hey, what's up? There it is, Mr. Sean. All right, let's see. So the next thing, let's see. Okay, great. So that looks like – now, if Mr. Remy, he said AT&T. Now, he already said AT&T, so of course, if we slow down and we read the whole conversation, we would have known he already said AT&T, so we would have not had to say this, so we could have gotten to the offer faster, which would have been a little bit better, right? It would have made it a little bit smoother. A little thing like this is not going to make or break it, guys, but just being aware of it, it just makes it a little bit smoother, right? It's the less words we say, the smoother the transition, the faster we can make the offer. It's just better. Again, saying this, even though we already know it was AT&T, is not that big of a deal. Some things will break the conversation, like when you start to argue with the prospect or say stupid stuff or say stuff that we don't need. But this is, I just wanted to point it out, right? This conversation is still like an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's still like very good, but just to point stuff out to kind of get it to the next level. Remy says the messages are out of order. You sure the messages are out of order? Because that would be weird if they came in. But maybe they are. All right. If they did come in differently than this, which it sounds like maybe he said 18. Oh, Remy says his iPhone does. Okay. Well, if that's the case, that changes stuff. So we would have put this up here. This would have been down here, which was good. So we're going to assume it's normal. He said, okay, great. Which company is the guy? Said, AT&T. I've got. He says AT&T, and he says, awesome, I can give you 84. Look at this. This is some good stuff. Look at this offer right here. Awesome, I can give you 84. Now, we're going to talk about the offer. You say, Aaron, why do we got to talk about these nitty-gritty details? Because these details matter. Let's ask the team. Has anyone here noticed that these small little tweaks, maybe using different words, sometimes big stuff, sometimes small stuff, sometimes just adding or taking away different words make a difference in the conversation. It can sometimes affect you getting a phone and not getting a phone. Has anyone here noticed that that's been going through this program and has experience with this? Ryan said, Ryan knew Bill. Ryan, I think he did about 10 grand last month, so he'll tell you he's on it. The details matter. Sean says yes. That's why we go over this, guys. Guys, if I'm doing $40,000 a month, if I just bought my second car that I bought for the year, I got 78 grand saved up. 15 months ago, I had $100 I started off phone flipping with. If I'm saying the details matter, I'm telling you guys it might be worth considering that the details matter, and they matter a lot. Because the different words you say create different feelings and thoughts in the prospect, and that causes them to take different actions. Some of those, you say the wrong stuff, they'll stop responding. It'll aggravate them. You say the wrong stuff, they'll keep responding. Sometimes you say the right stuff and they get pissed off, but then you say the wrong stuff and it brings them back in, and then you can go from there. Right? It's just like any words matter. So let's see, is there anyone here that I might be able to pick on? So let's say So let's say I was like, Ryan, I think, Ryan, you a snowboard, right? So if I was like, Ryan, you're okay at snowboarding, that would have one effect. If I was like, Ryan, you're pretty good at snowboarding, he would feel that. I was like, Ryan, man, I saw you snowboard. That was amazing. Or if I was like, Ryan, I saw you snowboard. It was pretty good, right? Or if I was like, Ryan, I saw you snowboarding. You suck, okay? That's all going to have a different – that's going to make Ryan feel differently. It's going to have him – he's going to respond to it differently. So we have to understand that the prospect's thinking the same thing. And, guys, the prospect, they got an ego. They're insecure. They're afraid you're going to flake. They're afraid you're a scam, right? So we have to be very conscious of the words we say and how they're going to respond. And Ryan Newbill, of course, I'm sure you're very good at snowboarding, all right? I just had to use an example, and I thought it was a good example. Awesome. Okay, I can give you $80 for it. And, guys, now one of the things that some people mess up is some people appraise wrong, right? This seems like a pretty good appraisal. I'm going to guess that it's going to sell for about $200. So $80. I might have offered a little bit more. Let's see. This is Clean IMEI, right? 6S Plus. Is it a 6S or 6S Plus? What was it? Where are we at? Oh, it's a 6 Plus. So that sounds pretty good. All right, this seems like, all right, there it is. Mr. Remy's over there appraising that correctly. And we're going to go to right here. Awesome, I can give you 80. Okay, cool. I have another that's a little rough. It's the same 64 gigabyte AT&T. Has scratches on the screen. Would you be willing to pick it up also? So this is what I usually do on this. All right, guys, here's my strategy for this. You guys take it however you like. What's up, Chris Kripe? I see you on here. So if they come to me with multiple phones at once, I appraise everything and make an offer on everything. If they say I got this phone, and this phone right away, I'll say I'll make an offer on everything. I'll get the details. I'll say, awesome, I gave you $275 for everything. When it's one thing like this and there's one deal and then they bring in another thing, then I say, okay, great. I said I would absolutely love to buy it. Bring it to the meetup so I can see it and I can make you an offer right there. Sounds good? Especially when they say it's a little rough, right? It's like they're kind of already close, and here's the reason for it. If they're coming to you with everything, they want to sell everything, so we want to complete them. We want to complete it. So if they say, hey, I got these two phones, I make an offer on everything. Guys, I did this about a month ago. This guy had he was switching from AT&T to Verizon. He had a tablet and an Apple Watch and 3 phones. I mean, it was like a $1,500, $1,600 transaction. But I said, hey, awesome. Any problems with any of them? Nope, no problems with them. And they're all AT&T? Yep, they're all AT&T. All right, I can give you, I made it was like $1,240. It came up to like $1,400. I made an offer on everything. He accepted it, and then it's closed, right? The deal's closed. When you're here and you go to here, you make an offer, and because he didn't argue, he said cool. What does cool do, guys? Cool is an acceptance of this. That means he accepted the offer here, which means he's closed, and then they come back with other stuff. Then we go back here, and I never want to backtrack. So in this specific situation, guys, I would have said, it's a great phone. I would love to buy it too. How about you meet up with me, bring it to the meetup, bring it with you when I buy the 6 Plus. That way I can look at it and I can make you an offer right there. And then I'm further ahead in this process and I can go for the meetup. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys see why I do that here. And Remy, I didn't even read the rest of your conversation. I'm not even sure what you did. I just want you guys to see why I would do it right here in my thought process and why that's an effective way. Remy says, he told me the second phone at the last minute and threw me off. I didn't know what to do. Assume the close. 1-1, right? Okay, fantastic. So let's see. He goes, yes. Would you be willing to pick it up also? See, so see what we're doing here now? It looks like we're backtracking. We're going to figure out what we have. And Remy, this is not your fault, by the way, because we've never had a conversation like this. But it's good because this shows what we would do in this situation to be a little bit more smooth. And it's another plus. No. Any other issues besides scratches on the screen? So he's just going through the standard appraisal process. But you guys see we're kind of going back a little bit now. He says, awesome. I can do 140 total for both of them. So that's the right way to make the offer, of course, right? Whenever they have a phone, right? So if if it's going back to the first scenario where they would have, if you would have presented both the phones to you and you made the offer, this is the right way to make the offer. It's not, I'll give you 70 for one, and I'll give you 35 for another, and I'll give you 5 for the hoopty-doopty. It's one number for all of them because it's smoother, and the 140 total just sounds better. What do you guys want? Awesome. I'm going to give you $70 for the 6S Plus, and I'm going to give you $10 for the iPhone 5, and I'm going to give you $400 for the X. Or I'm going to give you $605 for all 5 phones. What sounds better? Rico sent a live negotiation. All right, fantastic. We're going to keep going through this. I don't even know if we'll have enough time, but we're going to keep going. We'll see what we can do, guys, and if we got to hang out for a little bit later. Also, I can do 140 for both of them. Maybe around 10. So that's still not bad. So look, he accepted the offer. Maybe around 10. Cool. When are you available? Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, so because he's got the phone that messes up. So he said, awesome, I can do 140 for both of them. He said, cool, when are you available? So we closed it. That's a closing statement. So now we're going to figure out the time and the place. Maybe around 10. And he said 45 minutes or so. When would you like to meet? Okay, sounds good. Maybe this was mixed up too. But he's figuring out the time, right? We figure out the time. We figure out the place. What area you're in. So normally we would figure out when he's available, but he's trying to figure out when we're available. This guy's hot. He's a hot prospect. He sent a picture of it. Everything's good. I live in San Antonio, so we can honestly meet anywhere. He's very open. In this scenario, I would have sent him the address to the gas station by me and said, awesome, is there any way we can meet here? Because I like to get people to come to me initially. If not, I'll go to them. Okay, so is this switched? Is this switched too? If he says, honestly, I can meet anywhere, then I propose a thing. I propose a place, right? I take charge because we're the doctors. We're the surgeons. We're going to take charge. All right, yeah, it's switched. Is there a certain place you'd like to meet? He says, I live in San Antonio, so we can honestly meet anywhere. I don't know what Remy said, but we know the next thing to do would be to take charge and put a place out there. We don't want to get stuck going back. Where would you like to meet? Where would you? No. We're gonna offer a place. And if it doesn't work out or if it's too far or whatever, then we can figure out another place. But we need to always be moving the conversation forward. Look, beautiful. Look at that, Mr. Remy coming in hot. We can meet at the Shell gas station. He sends the address. That's what we always do. I always send the address because we don't want the prospect thinking. We don't want them to think. That's not good, right? We don't want to say the Shell gas station on 4th and 5th Street. We say, hey, is there any way we can meet at the Shell gas station on 4th and 5th Street at this address? Send the address. Beautiful. And then it looks like everything, we're kind of closing out everything. Great, perfect, thanks. Please have the phones reset. Already done. Text me perfect. He goes, I had someone offer me 160. Sounds like some BS to me, team. What do you think? He's trying to get a $50. He says, highest I can go is 140. I would have said, all right, so I would have switched it up and I would have said, they're great phones because I buy and sell. The highest I can go is 140. Whoa, hold on now, Remy. What is this? We gotta work on this. Had someone offer me 160. So this is how we handle this. Remy, what are you doing? So we're gonna call him prospect. Had someone offer me 160. All right, guys. Now, what we're going to say, because we're phone flipping professionals, and we know the selling begins when the customer says no, otherwise you're just taking orders, and people that take orders stand behind the cash register and make $10 an hour. Sales professionals create wealth. We're going to go into our negotiating. We're going to say, they are great phones. Because I buy and sell, the highest I can go is 140. However, I got your cash on me now and can whenever is good for you. This is what we're going to do. Remy. I don't even know if Remy wants to get phones after seeing that message. I'm not even sure. I'm just messing with you, Remy. Okay, so this is what we're going to say. Whenever they say, this is the standard script process, all right? I had someone offer me 160. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is we're always going to stay fully invested in the conversation. Now, what we're going to do is we're not going to argue with them, right? We never argue with the prospects. You guys agree with me on this? You start arguing with them, you got bad blood, and then you're not even talking about the money. Ulysses says yes. So we're going to say they're great phones. So we're complimenting him. We're kind of being like we're on hit. We're just making him feel good. They're great phones. And it also, but before we do the lowball offer, it just kind of makes it feel good. Hey, they're great phones, right? Because I buy and sell. So we always say this and we say it in this order. The order matters. Because I buy and sell. So what is this right here? I want someone to tell me what this is. It starts with an E. This is the, Ulysses, you are the man. This is the excuse. We're making the excuse. Now, the excuse matters. So let's talk about this. So they did a study. I just heard Dan Kennedy talk about it. They did a study, and there's this line of people in line to make a copy. So everyone's in line to make a copy. And this one person rushes up to the front of the line, and they say, hey, can I get in front of you to make a copy? So test 1, 20% of the people let him skip the line. They did another test again. It was the same location, same amount of people in the line. The guy rushes up and says, hey, can I get in front of you to make a copy because my parents are going to kill me and I'm late for school and I really need to pass this test. Please let me get in front of you to make a copy. 80% of the people let him skip when he had an excuse. Then they had the same person, same scenario. The guy walks up and says, hey, can I get in front of you to make a copy because I really need to make a copy? 80% of the people let him skip. What does that show us, guys? What does that conclude? This excuse, guys, this is pretty junky. This is like crap. Can I get in front of you to make a copy because I really need to make a copy? That's like the worst excuse in the world. However, and they did this is a real study, the same percent of people let him get by with a good excuse or with a horrible excuse as they did with a good excuse. So that shows us the excuse doesn't matter. Our excuse for the price is because I buy and sell. This is the excuse we use. This is why it's put into the script. Because I buy and sell, the highest I can go is 140. So this does a couple things. This says, hey, this is the highest I can go, but this also makes it seem like you're confident, right? You're not saying I can do 145 or blah, blah, blah. If you got some wiggle room, maybe. Sometimes you can say, hey, I'll meet you in the middle. There's time for that. But this is a standard line that works effectively a decent part of the time. The highest I can go is 140. You guys see it. We're not going to negotiate. The guy's probably bullshitting, right? He got 20 bucks more. Probably didn't get 20 bucks more, right? Highest I can go is 120. However, I got your cash on me now. I can meet you at the gas station at 10 or whenever is good for you. Now, I adjusted this last part, right? Chris is like, because Chris Kripe has been to Next Level for like 6 months. He's like, Aaron, this is not the script, right? This is still following the script, but I simply adjusted it slightly to tailor it to the prospect. We already kind of worked on the price, and we already kind of agreed to the meetup. So I'm emphasizing I got your cash and can meet now. And I'm reemphasizing I can meet at 10 or whenever is good for you. Every now and then it's good to say this line, whenever is good for you. I'm making it seem like I'm convenient for them. So I'm not saying, hey, you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm following the outline of the script. I'm just tweaking it slightly to make it more tailored to the specific scenario. But I'm using the same power phrases we talk about. I got your cash, right? So instead of saying I can meet you with cash now, he already knows you can meet him today with cash. You talked about it. You're saying, I got your cash on me now, right? I say the word your, and can meet you at the gas station at 10 or whenever is good for you. So I'm almost kind of bleeding into the meetup here. I'm still going towards the meetup. So I'm offering benefits. I got your cash. I can meet you at 10 or whenever is good for you. And you see how this is professional and locks down the price, but it makes it sound good to the prospect, right? It also shows that you're fully committed. You're fully committed. You want to earn his business. You want to buy his phone. Everyone wants someone that can earn his business, but the price is the price. We ain't talking about the price. We're going to try to sell him on other benefits. I got the cash. I can meet you at the gas station at 10 like we agreed upon, or whenever is good for you. John says, see you, Aaron. I have to leave. No worries, Sean. It was good seeing you on here. Do you guys see why this is such a good thing to see? Give me a 1 in the chat. Put yourself in the prospect's mind. If you're in the prospect's mind and they say this, what they going to think? Remy's an upstanding guy. This Remy's a pretty good guy, right? He wants to earn my business. He's all the way in the conversation. We're not going to pull out of the conversation. We don't pull out of conversations the next level unless we get told no multiple times. Remy said, highest I can go is 140. So I want you guys to feel the difference. You're the prospect, and I say they are great phones. That makes you feel good. It's like I'm complimenting you. Remy goes right into highest I can go is 140, right? It's kind of like a little short. It's kind of like a little, I don't like it. I buy and resell for a living, okay? So why are you telling that to me? Why, Remy, what does this have to do? I don't care that you buy and resell. What does that have to do with anything? Now, when it's worded like this, it's different. They're great phones. I'm warming them up. I'm buttering him up. I'm taking some butter and I'm slapping it on him. I'm giving him a little massage and I'm hugging him and I'm patting him on his back, right? And I'm rocking him back and forth in my arms, all right? I'm making him feel good. And then it's because I buy and sell, right? So I want you to see how this matters. Because I buy and sell, the highest I can go is 40. This justifies the price. This words must come before the price. When you put the price before you put this, it doesn't make sense. I want everyone here to give me a 2 in the chat that you see this. The wording matters tremendously. It matters tremendously because it fits, it makes sense, it's justified here. Here it just sounds like Remy's being a little bit of a, being a little short. Now, Remy's only been in Next Level for a couple weeks, so he's gotten substantially better. But these little tweaks are going to make a big difference. A big difference. Remy, what is this? If anything changes, let me know. My offer is always on the table. We like to stay this line, guys, but after we go back and forth with them at least 2 or 3 times. We got to get told no a lot, okay? The selling begins when the customer says no. Otherwise, we're just taking orders. So it's like you're leaving out of the we don't want to leave out of the conversation. We're just getting started. This prospect was so hot. He accepted all the offers. Everything was good. He probably didn't even have someone for 160. It's probably some bullshit. But we just left the conversation. Then he says, I understand. Thank you. I'll let you know either way. So Remy's pulling out of the conversation. This dude's pulling out of the conversation. Let's see if anything happened. I ended up selling the phones. Thank you, man. See, we could have. And the other thing is, if he did get an offer for 160, we might have been able to come up a little bit in price, right? We might have made him at 150. We might have, and he might have just sold it to us at 140 because 160 is 160, and he already locked in the price with you, right? We got to think about it from the prospect's mind. The prospect is thinking, hey, this Remy guy sounds pretty legit. He's talking pretty clean. He's getting right to the point. He's probably not going to show up. This guy said 160, but the guy can't meet me till Thursday, and the guy seemed a little shady. He said he had to get, things like that happen, right? We got the money now. There's a chance if we stuck in there, he would have just sold it to us. Maybe he wouldn't have. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we would have done differently there. Did that kind of help, Remy? Very good conversation to go through, though. This was very beneficial. And this also showed something different that I haven't recorded yet. So it'll be good for the back office. It's like a different tweak. It's a different take. So this was actually a really good conversation to go over, just because I don't have anything quite like this in the back office Next Level. We got over 30 text conversation breakdowns, and they're all a little different. But this has different things, like this thing right here, and then bringing the phone in after one phone is like very good. I got a yes from Remy. All right, guys, that's what I got. Josh, you sent me that text conversation. Let's see. Is this something how? Woo! She's got 3 iPhones. Awesome. What the hell? Oh, you made 480. I guess I should share the screen with you guys so you guys just start looking at me, right? Might be funner. Let's see what we got right here. We're going to look at this real quick. How much do you give for an iPhone 7 Plus? Any problems with it? No, brand new. I got 3 iPhone 7 Pluses. What company are they with? Sprint. Awesome icon. Love that, love that, love that. I don't even know what that is. For 1 is 140. I would have made this a little bit warmer. Instead of saying for 1 phone, I would have said I can do $140 for 1 phone. You know, for 1 is 140, that's just a little short, right? It's almost like it's not even, you're saying it's not even worth my time to make you a complete offer. You know, 140. Now, you already made a full offer here, but I would have still made this a little bit more warmer, right? You guys feel the difference? For 1 is 140. Or I can do $140 for 1 phone. You guys see how the second is a little bit warmer, right? It's very important to show that you're invested fully in the conversation. Okay, I'll talk to my mother-in-law and see what she wants. What sounds like? I would have said, all right, sounds good. Just let me know. And I got, so this is what I would have said to this, right? So we would have bled a little bit. We would have done the bleeding effect, which is, and if anyone here, if I'm using a lot of terms that are kind of weird, you just keep, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You keep coming on these group chats, you keep going through training, and all this stuff will make sense. A lot of times it can make sense in a couple months. Like in 1 or 2 months, you can go from like a 1 out of 10 phone flipping to like a 9.5 out of 10. Because it's like a handful of things, but we just use it over and over and over again. So what I would have said is, she says, okay, I'll talk to mother-in-law and see what she wants. What would I have said here, guys? Okay, sounds good. Just let me know. I buy phones for a living, so I can meet you. So I can meet you whenever you're ready with cash. This is what I would have said in response to this. See, I'm kind of already going for the meetup a little bit, and these are benefits, right? You guys see, these are benefits to her doing business with me. I buy phones for a living. This is like the excuse, right? This is the justification. So I can meet you whenever you're ready with cash. 2 big benefits that they like to hear. So instead of her going and talking to a mother-in-law, now she's got to, oh, damn, this guy's, it sounds right here, too, that you're a little serious, right? You're a little serious here, Josh. You do it for a living. She's dealing with a professional. She can meet you whenever, and you got the cash. You guys see how that's just a little bit? It pushes it a little bit, and it gives it a couple benefits. So that's what I would have said there, Josh. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, that's what I got for you guys. Rico's got an update. Send it on over. And then I do got to get going in like a minute. Well, in like a couple minutes. Oh, boy. This guy's just sending me all sorts of stuff. We're going to look at that. Boom! Just sold an Apple Watch Series 4. Bought that today for $2. Guys, you ever like to calculate the profit? 475 times 0.119 minus 55 minus 15 to ship. I paid $250. We made $155, baby. All right, Josh, if you got an update, send it to me. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. Overall, guys, was that helpful? Was this group chat helpful? Did you learn a couple things you can use to get good at negotiating? I'm telling you guys, when you guys get good at this, nothing else matters. Does anyone here ever get pissed off when they see competition? Does anyone here ever get pissed off when they see someone new posting ads? Pisses me off. I ain't going to lie to you guys. It pisses me off. I don't like it. When you get your skill set high, none of that matters. My negotiating skills are better than anyone in my area. You guys think that's true? Right? What do you guys think? You guys think I see there's like 5 or 10 phone flippers in the area. You guys, if you guys were to bet, knowing the text conversations we've done and seeing some of my screenshots I posted and the phones I've got and some of the conversations I've done, you think I'm better than everyone else in my area. I am. I am the best. I make more money than everyone else, so it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if people come into the market or not because their skill set won't be higher than mine. It's not that I don't have competition. It's not that my accounts don't get banned, right? It's not that there's, let me think if I should say this. There are, I know of 3 different people that have bought just David's program, right? The program that we're all in. They bought his program. They're in my area. They're in St. Louis. 3 other people, not me, 3 other people in St. Louis that have bought David's program. I make more money than all of them combined phone flipping. Why is that? My skill set's up here, right? I can get people down in price. I can negotiate it. I know how to word certain things, right? Then go shop around, right? Especially if they're just going to. Now, sometimes every now and then there'll be a normal person that buys it that uses it for themselves, but they're dealing with other people, they're going to sell it to me. And I know this because I've seen it happen. I've experienced it. That's why I don't have slow months. That's why I don't worry about stuff. I know this business is going to be stable. This business is solid. Did anyone here see that screenshot of my buddy that was selling iPhone 5s 5.5 years ago on eBay? He was selling iPhone 5s 5.5 years ago on eBay, guys. He lives in my area, all right? This business isn't going anywhere. It's not like we're going to join and all of a sudden it's going to get saturated. That's never going to happen. People will come and go, and the people that aren't motivated and they don't have the skill set, nothing else matters. So when you guys stay with this and you guys get good at this, you guys are going to skyrocket and take your business to the next level, and then you guys will stay there. Once you get your skill set up, you'll be able to consistently do $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. Everyone here has the ability to do at least $10,000 a month in sales. Everyone here has the ability to make at least $1,000 a week in profit phone flipping. I guarantee it because I've seen so many people do it. Everyone here can make $52,000 a year in profit flipping phones in your area. It's just up to you to make the decision, and it depends on what decisions you take, right? When you get done working for the day and you come home and list phones, are you going to watch Netflix for a half an hour and be entertained? Or are you going to watch some training in the back office of Next Level? Because there's over 70 hours of videos back there now. So you can get better information, so you can take better action, so you can take your business to the next level. You're going to watch, what's that one show on Netflix? You're going to watch Game of Thrones for an hour? Or you're going to go through a text conversation breakdown like we just did here. There's 30 others in the back office of Next Level. So you can learn some advanced skills. So when you're in a conversation, instead of losing the deal, you can apply some new stuff and you can get the deal. It's all up to you. The decisions determine the actions, determine your destiny in life. Going for 30K, says Taylor. I'm 10 out of 10, says Taylor. Rico says sent. Oh, did you send something? Let me see if I can look at it real quick, Josh. Let me get my mother-in-law. Well, that's just standard. So basically, Josh offered $420, and she said $530. Yeah, so you just say the normal stuff. You just say the normal stuff. The highest go is this is what I would say, Josh. Just what I put in the group. They're great phones. The highest I can go is $420. I got your cash on me now, though, and can meet whenever. We're just kind of re-emphasizing the benefits. I do it over and over again. If you guys want to see the screenshot real quick, that is the screenshot. You have great phones because I buy and sell for a living. Highest I can go is $420, but I can drive to you today and bring cash. Let me give my mother-in-law a call. Okay, she said, can you do $530? And she put 2 question marks, so she's kind of anxious, so that's good. That means she's really invested. I would have said exactly what I said. They're great phones. The highest I can go is $420. Or I guess I would have said, because I buy and sell, I would have just re-emphasized it. They are great phones because I buy and sell. The highest I can go is $420. I got your cash on me now, though, and can meet whenever. That's what I would have said. You guys see how that would have went in there very well. It's just re-emphasizing the benefits and going for the close again. And I didn't appraise it, by the way, too, Josh. I mean, if you did like a low ball, you could always come up and try to meet them in the middle. I don't know what they're going for, right? I mean, like, if you appraise it that you're going to make $100 profit a phone, you could be like, you could ask a tie-down question. All right, they're in mint condition. There are no issues with it. Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Would you meet me in the middle at 460, right? Or 480? And then instead of making $100 a phone, you make $80 a phone. I haven't appraised it yet. I'm just putting stuff out there. If you've already appraised it accurately and you're kind of already making fair offers, then just stay with your price. It just kind of depends on what's going on. But that's what I got for you guys. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. And as I always say, guys, just because I like to reemphasize everything, keep learning, keep growing, and anytime you have any questions, post it in Next Level. That's what the group is there for. It's to get questions answered. And, of course, it is, of course, to guys, I'm getting hungry here. It's, of course, to show off any success. So anytime you have a win, you pick up a phone, you use the script to close a deal, feel free to post it in Next Level so we can celebrate your success. And it also motivates everyone else, too. Because when you see all these people from all walks of life posting their wins, it just lets everyone know that they can win as well. And also motivates people. Like when I see someone posting 5 phones, I'm like, damn, they did $500 in profit. I'm only at $300. I got to get on my butt. I got to get off my butt and get to work. They say your income is the top 5 people you hang around, but that doesn't have to be face-to-face. When you see others that are going out there and achieving a lot, that will motivate you as well. Ulysses says, what is the $1 website for? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I would look up Twilio. I want to say it's Twilio. I believe it's Twilio. And if not, just type into Google. Just type in buy numbers that can forward and you'll find it. I'm 99% sure it is Twilio, though. That's what I got for